Okay, we're going to multiply some special products. Multiplying special products is very similar to multiplying regularly. You can use either the box method or the distribution method. I like the box method, so if I have x plus 4 times x plus 4, I would have x and plus 4 on top of the box, and x and plus 4 on the side of the box. We would multiply to fill in this box. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is 4x. X times 4 is 4x. And 4 times 4 is 16. Combining like terms, we would get x squared plus 8x plus 16. So x squared plus 8x plus 16 would be our answer here. Again, looks very similar to just multiplying a regular polynomial. Nothing really has changed, but we're going to look at our results here in a second. Y minus 2 squared, remember that would be y minus 2 times y minus 2. For this one, I'll use the multiple distribution method, so that way you can see that one as well. So we would have y that we are distributing to y minus 2, and then we would have plus negative 2 that we were distributing to y minus 2. That way I can distribute the y and distribute this negative 2. So y times y would be y squared. Y times negative 2 would be negative 2y. Negative 2 times y would be negative 2y. And negative 2 times negative 2 would be positive 4. Combine our like terms, we'll get negative 4y. Bring down the rest, we have y squared minus 4y plus 4 is our answer. Okay, now I'm going to let you multiply the rest of these, but I want you to note to look for this pattern. When you are squaring a binomial, so you're taking it times itself, x plus 4 times x plus 4, or y minus 2 times y minus 2. All of these you're going to be taking in the polynomial and multiplying it times itself. So the square of a binomial is the square of the first and last terms plus twice the product of the terms. So what that means when we're multiplying things like this, multiplying it times themselves, if you square the first terms, like x times x, that's going to give you x squared. If you square the last terms, 4 times 4, that would give you 16. Then if you multiply the terms together, 4 times x is 4x, and then multiply it times 2, so twice those terms. 2 times 4 is 8. That would give me 8x, and that is what we got for our answer. So if you're multiplying it times itself, you take the first number squared, the last number squared, and then 2 times the terms multiplied times each other. So if you have a plus b squared, like down here at the bottom, your answer is going to be a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Right. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. A squared plus 2 times a times b plus b squared. So then let's go down towards the bottom. Here we are not multiplying the same things times each other, but they are very similar. Here we have x minus 4 and x plus 4. So they're not both the same because they're not both x plus 4. One of them is minus. But other than the fact that we have a plus and a minus, they are the same. We have x and 4, and then we have x and 4. So let's multiply these together. We have x minus 4 times x plus 4. I'll put x minus 4 on top of the box, x plus 4 on the side. To fill in the box, x times x is x squared. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. X times 4 is 4x, and 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Here are our like terms. 4x and negative 4x are going to cancel out. So we're left with x squared minus 16. Okay. So then let's look at y plus 2 times y minus 2. Again, I'll use the distribution method for this one. So I'm going to do distributing the y and then distributing the 2. So we take y times y minus 2 plus 2 times y minus 2. Distributing the y, I would have y squared minus 2y. Distributing this 2, I would have plus 2y minus 4. Negative 2y plus 2y would again cancel out, so I'm going to have y squared minus 4 as my answer. So here, when we're multiplying what's called the sum and difference, we have a plus and a minus of the same terms, y plus 2 and y minus 2. So the same terms, but one's a plus and one's a minus. When we are multiplying things like these together, the product of the sum and difference of the same two terms, is the difference of their squares. So if you have the same two terms, a and b, but you have one that's a plus, one that's a minus, your answer is going to be a squared minus b squared. Just like we got up here, we got x squared, so our first thing squared, minus 16, which is 4 squared. So your first term squared minus the second term squared. So hopefully that will help you to fill in the rest.